It is the Nintendo Powercast episode 390. I'm one of the four hosts, N64 Josh. Johnny, what's up, dude?
What's going on? If you hear me make like random noises, it's because I'm watching the Phillies, and it could be good or bad. Who knows?
Noted. Cheesy, what's up, baby?
What's going on, cheese curds? I'm just almost done with a Marvel Snap match, and then I'll stop.
We are never ready.
That will be a topic of discussion this episode.
It should be.
It will be.
Okay. A servant says watching the Phillies, not the Eagles. He's got both streams on.
I got them both up. Yeah, I got them both up. But like
multiple monitors, you know how that works.
Win, easy win.
Crawler, how you doing?
Good. Crawler coming at you.
Crawler coming at you. All right. Well, guys, there's a lot to announce. I'm going to try to get through it quickly. Smash Bros. Cast is back. We have a premium Smash Bros. Server, Discord server. What this means is that our new tournaments are going to be held specifically through this Discord. That way, only community members can join, because the last 4 tournaments we did, I paid out to randoms in the that were on start.gg, and I want it to go to you guys. So the more members we get, the higher prize pool we get, and the more fun we have. So n64josh.com/smashcord if you would like to be a part of the online local. The Pokemon News, Poke News Now podcast is live. Episode 2 went out this week. You can find it on all podcast players, I believe. Message me if you don't find it. And it's also available on its own YouTube channel. And the PokeNewsNow.com website is slowly evolving. So we're having a little bit of fun with this thing, just watching it take shape. And if you are interested in having an article of yours posted on Poke News Now, if you just want to write about Pokemon, please feel free to reach out. Josh at PokeNewsNow.com. All right. Our Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Come hang out, talk games. I've been streaming a lot more and having a great time with it every day. 2 p.m. Pacific is when I've been starting, 5 p.m. Eastern, a little earlier in the afternoon. I have a long stream planned for this Saturday, and we're going to be playing a lot of Mario Kart. When I hit my halfway mark on my goal for PAX Unplugged, I'm going to be streaming using only my Mario Kart wheel. Hopefully, I'm only playing Mario Kart, but there's going to be lots of different incentives and some fun stuff happening. That's going to be starting at 12 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, and then the following weekend, we're going to do a 24-hour stream. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Yeah, we're going crazy. So it's going to be fun. Johnny, what's been going on content-wise for you?
I have been making shorts and TikToks a lot, but that's pretty much it, because the Phillies have been dictating my life. So I haven't been streaming as much. I haven't been making longer videos. I will soon, though. So follow Johnny Bo, especially on YouTube.
Well, tell us what you've been doing, though.
What have I been doing?
Like on YouTube, what's your progress been? Like, what have you've been documenting a little journey?
Yeah. So, 2 things. A couple weeks ago, we were trying to get us to 10,000 subscribers there. I'm at 12.2 thousand now, and I'm about to hit 10 million views on shorts in 90 days. Which, if you don't know, that is like how you get monetized. That's going to be one of the ways you get monetized next year. I'm already monetized, but like I made it a challenge to do it, and I was able to do it.
Love it. That is fantastic. Cheesy, what's your content been like these days? I saw a tweet that said you're kind of just taking a little breather before the new year.
Yeah, kind of. You can follow me on Twitter. That's kind of where I've been posting a lot recently. And that tweet was just saying, as the year is winding down, so am I. And it's not that like I'm unmotivated. It's just we're gearing up to a new year, new exciting things. And I think we all just kind of deserve a break towards the end of the year. So it's been kind of quiet, but I am streaming and I'll post TikToks here and there. So you can follow me at CheezyC64, CheeeZYC64, pretty much everywhere.
Love it. Crawler, content wise, what you been up to?
Random tweets, I think, has been the most common thing lately. Occasional TikToks, but that's kind of it. And then hopping in, like we were playing last night, and Mulehorn was streaming. I think you were you streaming? No,
I didn't stream Modern Warfare last night, but we had fun playing.
yeah. So I mean, hopping, you'll catch me in other people's streams sometimes, but who knows? Maybe I'll turn it on sometime. Nightcrawlers without the E, Twitch. Sometimes I don't know.
There you go. This is the week to play some Fortnite too, right? It's got
yeah. I told William.
I
told William before he went to bed tonight that I would talk to you, and we'd probably get Sunday maybe nailed down for some, because I think it goes away at the end of the week.
Okay.
So we gotta get some.
We'll do it. We'll do a Sunday Fortnite stream.
Like Luke.
They had
Leia,
they had original trilogy characters coming to Fortnite. So Luke as either Farm Boy or Jedi Master, and then Han, and then Leia either as original Episode 4 Leia in the white dress, or Bounty Hunter Leia from Episode 6.
What about Crybaby Luke? Because that's all he does.
That's Farm Boy Luke. Doesn't he throw temper tantrums about not going to Tashi Station? In
Why is he here? There we go. That's better.
He does throw temper tantrums sometimes.
I don't want to.
I saw a good meme. I saw a good meme today that was like, literally lost her entire home planet hours before, consoles Crybaby about losing his martial arts instructor or something like
that. Oh, speaking of Star Wars memes, I posted one on Twitter the other day. It showed all of the younglings that Anakin was at. They were at the bottom of the picture, and it starts with him going, "Yo, where'd my legs? How'd I get my legs back?" And then it's all those younglings asking, "Why is he here?" And I
saw that one on Twitter last week.
Terrible.
I died. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. So, well, the focus of tonight's show is going to be top Switch games of 2022. Lastly, I do want to mention we do have new shirts going up. NPC Scarlet and NPC Violet are going to be in the store as well. So do make sure to check those out. But our top Switch games of 2022. Now, disclaimer, I feel like I've not played as many Switch games as I would have hoped. So I'm going to rely heavily on you guys, because I have Switch games I own. There's a lot that are not opened yet, but there's been some gems this year. Gems that I'm sitting on. To name a few, I'll start us off. Alive. Still haven't opened my copy. Triangle Strategy. Still have not opened it. Sparks of Hope.
Year? Was Triangle Strategy this year or last year?
Yeah, it was in March.
Was
it this year? Oh, man.
Yeah, because it was when like Elden Ring was popular, and then like Kirby came out a couple weeks later.
Yeah. Sparks of Hope. I have yet to crack the case. Fire Emblem. What's it called? I don't even remember.
Fire Emblem Warriors
Three Hopes.
Three Hopes. Yes, there you go. I have the case right next to me. So,
yeah. Did you get Bayonetta?
Bayonetta is also unopened next to me here. But it's a special edition, so I was going to get it digitally. But then Best Buy really screwed up my box. So I'm like, well, I don't know what's going to happen there. And welcome to Cheesy's Cat to the show. glad you're
He's very
here.
photogenic.
Well, you did just beat a Switch game.
I did. Yeah. So I just finished Arceus. And I got to say, shout out to Peppermint Shoulders. That's all I'll say. But
you were complaining last week, Cheesy, about him not wanting to show you love, and now he's here wanting to be on the podcast.
It's true.
Shout out to Antoine for hooking me up with all the evolutions at level 70.
God. We talked about this just last week, did we not?
Yeah. We the challenge for Scarlet and Violet is he can't accept any Pokemon that are higher level than the ones he already has.
If he
Yep.
does, he has to delete his Mario Kart file.
Delete the save data.
That's kind of brutal. That's
Yeah.
kind of brutal.
Wait, why?
You got to at least beat the game, and then you can go claim all your free from the community.
Okay, but what happens when the community gives me the starter so I can at least have the 3 starters?
That's fine. As long as they're not like level.
As long as they're not
40.
pre-leveled. You get
Yeah.
them in egg form. Like, wait for the breeders to go just breed them and give them to you in egg form.
Now
Be
I know
like
what it
level
feels like
5,
when you tell
whatever
people
it
you
starts
play
with.
on easy and they tell you suck at video games.
It's
That's-
Pokemon. You don't need it. It's Pokemon.
They level up as you go, man, and you'll get them.
So here's the thing. I didn't need the evolutions. I was doing just fine. I just was like, I don't have them. And he's like, I just want to help out. And I'm like, cool. So, but the thing is, the highest I could control is 65. So like trying to beat the game with a team of Pokemon that don't listen to you.
Yeah, you're
It was
working against
like-
yourself.
Yeah,
it was
well,
the worst. I'm like, come on.
Here's how you're supposed to play that game. You're supposed to, catch and complete your Pokedex, and then you get to be leveled up, and then you could use Pokemon that level for the end game. But since you
Okay.
took the easy road, you couldn't.
I feel
Cheaters,
bad now.
cheaters never get ahead.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Just
guess
ask
you're
Tom
right.
Brady.
So, but we would throw Arceus on top Switch games, right? It's in the list. We're not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
we're not
Easy.
ranking them necessarily. We're just saying this is a top Switch game. Arceus.
I
Arceus-
will put it up there
Yeah.
until Scarlet and Violet, because I think Scarlet and Violet are going to take enough inspiration from Arceus that Arceus would feel like a prequel to Scarlet and Violet, or ideas that Scarlet and Violet are going to perfect.
I'm honestly planning on having my life dominated by Scarlet. I'm sorry, by Violet, because of the crotch rocket, and then, yeah, I'm planning on putting a lot of time into it. So I no-lifed Pearl, and I'm kind of planning on no-lifing Violet, but this one's got to be on stream. Since I'm back to streaming, like there's going to be a lot of Pokemon streams. I'm excited to play with the community, right? To like be able to venture together and like do the raid battles again. And Cheesy's cat is the best. I hope you guys are watching. If you're on Spotify, you can turn the video on.
This
Show
is
me
the reason
love
to
is what the cat-
subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel N64Josh. You'll get to see my cat Dash.
Yes, there he is. I love it. So, Johnny, what are some of your top picks for 2022?
So I feel we already talked about Arceus. I think that's one of my top for this year. Mario Strikers Battle League, easily. Switch Sports, easily.
Okay, but I was
there's
thinking about it. Where's golf? Golf is
It's coming out in the
still not
winter.
here.
Okay, it was supposed
Yeah,
to come
they
out
delayed it from
in
fall
the
to winter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which I
don't
think
know,
it's
that's
still, I think it's still happening this year, though, right? Did they say 2022?
Yeah, they said
still?
they said winter, so I guess it could be next year.
It could. I mean, winter doesn't start until 10 days left in the year. So if it's still happening this year, then it's happening those last 10 days of the year. But I don't know if it is this year still.
I think that there are some decent games that are just kind of forgettable. Like Kirby is pretty. It was fine for 5 hours. And
Did you
then
beat Kirby,
everybody-
Josh?
100%.
Okay, we're still on that. We're still on that lie then. Okay.
Okay, listen. This is. I think I need to come up with some incentives. I'm going to see how many games I can beat on these long streams that we're going to be doing the next 2 weekends.
I'd say Kirby is definitely doable.
We're gonna go hard.
Yeah, that's like
okay.
it's
We're
like
going
20 minutes.
hard.
It'll be fun.
20 minutes.
Some of those last battles are interesting and more complex than you would think they would be.
I love that Nate is in both places saying Shredder's Revenge, which
I mean, that's a great game. I do
that is a
agree.
must own. I can't wait for the limited run stuff to come out. Like, it is definitely a must own. So, anyway, Johnny, you were saying
I would
you
put
said strikers and sports. Did you mean
Yeah, no,
those?
I was
two?
that was
He was
kidding.
Okay.
Arceus is probably my top. I would say Splatoon, but like I'm kind of soured on that game right now. Like there's no new content updates, and you have to sweat so hard to get a turf battle win.
Johnny wants skill-based
Like,
matchmaking.
I want skill-based matchmaking, right? But probably the game that I'm enjoying the most this year is Mario plus Rabbids. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm in like the second world, but it's awesome. So I just want to play it. So
Cool. That's great. Here's what I'll say about Splatoon. If you have not, I think for me, I played a lot of Splatoon 2 was up there on my list of 500 or 600 hours, right? That's a lot of time. Getting into Splatoon 3, I still felt that fatigue from 2, I think. I just don't feel like it was really pulling me in. That being said, if you are a new Switch owner or you didn't play Switch 2 or Splatoon 2, other than there may be you may be sweating a little bit. I would still recommend picking up Splatoon 3. It is competitive. Especially if you've got a history with shooters and you're playing more on Switch, definitely get Splatoon 3. But if you played a lot of Splatoon 2 like I did, for me, I still feel a little bit of that fatigue. I can still jump in and play and have a good time. The times that we did spend playing, it was great. Like I really enjoyed it. But you do sweat. You definitely sweat. So, Cheesy, how about you? What are some of your top games from 2022? And we can go around a few times. Like we don't have to answer it all in one go. Like, because I know we're probably going to think about a few that like, oh yeah, that came out this year. Like, there's actually a surprising amount of games that did launch this year. Some of them were just not as memorable as others.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like there were a lot of good surprises. Arceus being one of them. It did not look good. It is not a good looking game, but
it looks fine. It
looks okay. I mean, like, there's still Pokemon that are rendering in the background, and it kind of stutters a little bit. But like gameplay wise, it didn't matter because the gameplay was just so much fun. And that was like the Pokemon game that we have always wanted, just being out in the wild, catching Pokemon, just throwing Pokeballs wherever we wanted. So I don't know, it's really high up there. And the way that you're able to like traverse on the Pokemon too was really unique. So I had a good time with that. I had a good time with Kirby. I played that with my wife, and we did like the 2-player. And even though 2-player is not the greatest, it still is a lot of fun. It's better than like a Cappy mechanic. You actually do get to control Waddle Dee, even though Waddle Dee is following Kirby the whole time. It still feels like you're part of the game.
Which I feel like they had a direct response to what's the new Kirby coming out here in a little bit?
Return to Dreamland.
Yeah,
Deluxe.
they had a direct response, I think, to the lackluster feeling of playing as Waddle Dee. With that announcement, they pretty much let you know that all 4 people could be Kirby with abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was it's a remake, isn't it, or it's a remaster of a Wii game?
Yeah. And then before the show even started, you brought up Alive, or maybe it was during the show that you brought that up.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I had played that, but that was a game that really surprised me because I'm not really a RPG type of person, but the way that game played out, I could not stop playing it, and it looks beautiful. The music is so good. So that one is up there. And
so does that have you hyped on Octopath 2 coming out?
I didn't play the first one, and I don't
think you're gonna have to have played the first one for Octopath 2.
Maybe I'll check it out then. Yeah, someone said surprise Cheesy didn't just mic drop Splatoon 3. Look, I love Splatoon. I don't think it's where it should be yet, but it still has 2 years to grow. And we were talking about reviews last week and like, do they matter or not? But IGN is one of the sites that gave a review just based on the campaign. And then they'll give a review on the multiplayer later because they know that there's still more to come. And there's DLC and who knows like what updates there will be, if there's new modes. We just don't know yet. And so I think it's hard to say that it's my game of the year, but I do think it could be nominated for like shooter of the year based on how big Splatoon like popped off.
Crawler, where are you at with 2022 and Switch games?
I mean, looking at a brief list here, I mean, I think we're all kind of in the mindset of first party right now. For me, I think I need to spend more time with it, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was, or what I have played of it so far has been just super enjoyable, and just excited to spend more time completing it. I think I'm on like chapter 6 or something like that, so I'm a ways in, and looking forward to spending. I think where I got with it, like the story is just kind of opening up quite a bit, and I need to go back to it. Live Alive I fell off of because Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out like the week after. I think they were both sandwiched in there really close. I got through, I think 3 or 4 of the prologue kind of character chapters in Live Alive, so I do want to go back and tackle that. I mean, that's more bite size. I think that would be manageable because I think it's only another couple hours of the prologue stuff, and then the main story is what, another 3 or 4 hours. Cheesy, is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
So that, and then I mean, Sparks of Hope has been great. What I played, it's gotten hijacked from me a little bit. It's sitting in the other Switch just over here because my kids have been playing it more so. But yeah, I mean, it's been really fun to see just more what that Ubisoft team has been able to make out of having Mario and doing their own thing.
Let's talk indies for a little bit.
What about you? Did you say Arceus, or are you saying?
Okay, yeah. So I only focused on Arceus. It seems like I mentioned a bunch of the games that came out, right? Like so. Let's circle back just a second. How many of you guys played the Fire Emblem Warrior game? I didn't open mine.
I put it in my Switch. That's about it.
Well, I take it back though. I did play the demo, I believe, and I did enjoy.
That transfers over.
And I did enjoy that. Like the Warriors games have come a long ways. It feels like to me, like I did not like Muso games until
the Breath of the Wild one.
Yeah, the second Zelda one. Yeah, Age of Calamity. Yeah. I mean, the other one wasn't bad either. The other Zelda
found a more creative way to implement story. And it's not just a hodgepodge of characters that they're just throwing in there. Run to this point, defend this point, and then go back. It still has some of that, but like the Age of Calamity one had escort missions or just more like missions that fit fit within the universe.
You were flying around or using the giant,
those were cool too. The overworld ones where you were the divine beasts.
Yeah, they mixed things up a little bit, and so I know that the Fire Emblem game does the same, and so they're worth checking out if you need a button masher. I want to take a quick peek here, and it is 2-player. So if you got a kid or a family member or a sibling or something, it is it can be a fun. And I don't know about you guys, I love the characters in Fire Emblem. They all just seem relatively interesting, and that's one of the big draws for that series for me. So that is one that I'm glad we talked about. You guys touched on Sparks of Hope. Nintendo Sports, again, it's kind of hit or miss because if you're playing as a party game, pretty fun. And I think Strikers has its place too. If you've got 4 people to play with or 8 people even to play with, there's fun to be had there. it's just if you're literally playing that game by yourself and you're just going online and like not communicating with it, like guaranteed if we put strikers in and the four of us played, we would have fun doing it. There would probably be swearing and it would be a good time.
This might be a dumb question. Are we able to do that with strikers?
I don't think so. I was going to ask the same thing.
I meant if
I think you can. I think you do 2v2.
We did in the beta.
You can do 2v2, but you
can't do everybody on one team.
Which is, they messed up. That's the club part of it, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Because then that'd be a whole lot easier. I know I'm this person.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing, I think Cheesy and I did a few in the online demo, and Josh and I did a few games as well. When you pass to another character that's not controlled, you become that character unless your teammate anticipates and switches to that. It's very weird controls for that. And so you end up running in the wrong direction or not knowing who you're controlling. It gets confusing. So if they could iron that out and make it so that you could do how...
They're not going to do that, though.
That
game is not good.
Pauline doesn't even look that great in the renders that have come out as well.
They're getting characters, and that's it. Because, like, it sold, 2 million copies or whatever? A fraction of people are still playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a ghost town like tennis. Like, it right. Probably... And if you do get matched up, you're getting just stomped because that's all the people that are still playing are playing. So if you try to casually go in there and do it, you're not going to have a good time.
No, you're not. So it really depends on your situation. I could see it being a good family game, but it's really gonna depend. Evil Chris says my brother sold strikers like 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks in. So there you go. Like it's a game that's kind of lacking content, unfortunately. I mean, I've even gone back not too long ago and played Mario Golf Super Rush. I was just like, hey, this is, I just wanted to I did a couple did 3 holes a couple different times and it was fun, but it was just pick up real quick and walk away from it. As far as other games this year, I did have a good time with the show. I know that's probably like a shock, maybe hearing that I could have, but for me, I took my Switch on vacation. I was with my dad and we got to play Home Run Derby. That's really all I do with the show is play Home Run Derby, but that's really all I need it for. Like,
and that was a passable title. It was a passable title on the Switch that had cross progression. So if you wanted it to be a more beautiful experience, you could play it on Game Pass or you could play it on PlayStation, and whatever you had progression wise, if you wanted to play the player story or your season or whatever, it was there available to you. But it was a workable title, which I mean, Johnny had a tongue-in-cheek kind of shorts this week about Call of Duty and what has been on Nintendo systems. There were two on the Wii or Wii,
2 on the Wii U.
Wii U.
So there's
and then there was a DS with Modern Warfare.
The Wii
original
had a
ones.
bunch. The Wii had like COD 4 and World at War and stuff. They could, like, if these companies would actually put some effort into their ports, like I played No Man's Sky and Nier Automata, and they are good ports. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, they're not as good as PlayStation 5 or Xbox One or Xbox Series, but they are playable. They're enjoyable. Handheld mode is awesome with them. So like, so a lot of people are saying, like, if you read the comments on those videos, Switch isn't powerful enough, or it doesn't have enough storage. These companies are just lazy. They don't want to port it.
Yeah.
A few other notable titles. Some of these aren't Switch exclusive, but the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
I was going to mention that one.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Like, I know it's DLC, but like it's even Johnny's comment right there. Like, there's a lot that came out, right? That like, it's kind of like, oh, that came out this year. Fall Guys is another one. Not necessarily where you want to play it, but if the Switch is your only option, it's there.
Yeah, but I mean, all these games now that They have cross progression, so if you want to play in handheld mode, like, and then play on your Xbox or PlayStation, you can do that.
Overwatch 2 is out, and I have not played it
I
on
haven't played it on
Switch.
Switch yet.
But
I think I've done a match or two on Switch. I think I recorded B-roll. I think of like 20-30 minutes of it, and that was Switch gameplay that I recorded B-roll for, and it's workable. I mean, it's going to be more squared off polygons than you would get on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, but it was still fast and responsive. It wasn't just a hot mess, which at this point now, when with the hardware that we're dealing with in comparison to what the other systems can do, saying it doesn't suffer for just the overall experience and it is kind of just visual, like that's a win in my book, I guess, for Switch.
I know one we're probably all, potentially all thinking about. Nate mentioned Shredder's Revenge quite a bit. That was one that I played all the way through, had a really good time with. And also the TMNT Cowabunga collection. Like, how great is it? We've wanted that. I know I've wanted that forever. Like, that's one of the greatest additions to the Switch. For me, there's so much nostalgia tied to that. And so that might, and some of those games are not easy. That might be
save
that
states
might be
are a blessing on that.
Yeah, right. Like, what we should do sometime is we should all run the dam level and see who can who can get through it the fastest.
Is there autoplay on Cowabunga Collection?
What do you mean, like where it'll just play the game for
where
you?
the CPU plays a perfect game for you, and then you can hop, like they did that for Lion King and Aladdin, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
Interesting.
That's
Can't
wild.
get through that. Just can't wait to be king level, huh?
Yeah, that's what people were doing, taking advantage of.
A little rough.
I don't know if that was a thing in Cowabunga Collection. That's a lot of games to have kind of a.
I don't remember seeing the option for the time I've spent with it, but that would be interesting to see a computer play that first Turtles game, because that is no joke, no joke at all. So Nate's asking a good question, dude. Why isn't the Saturday morning cartoon games ever come to the Switch? It's just dumb. And I agree.
Well, isn't there something with the licensing on those right now?
I don't know.
You're talking about the Disney collection?
Yeah, the Disney Afternoon Collection.
DuckTales and stuff.
They became available, and if they had gotten delisted, they got relisted because I bought them last year, or maybe. They're only on Xbox and PlayStation for some reason.
I think
maybe
it has
on
to do
Steam
with licensing. Like, I think because DuckTales has weird licensing, doesn't it? Because they got delisted. Like, the remake got delisted a couple years ago.
Oh, the one that came out on Wii or Wii U?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that title was going to potentially be rare, and so I snagged it on Wii U when it was like in a bargain bin or something at GameStop. So the last major notable title for me is got to be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like, although I haven't put as much time into that game as I would have liked, the time I have put into it, I have really enjoyed. And now that Arceus is done, it's probably going to be the game I try to get a little more time into before Scarlet and Violet come out. It for me, I was never able to connect with 1 as well as I would like. 2, I could not get enough of, and 3 is definitely it's a little slower go than 2 was for me, but I'm still having a good
You're only
time
in
with
chapter
it.
2 or 3 though, right?
I'm not that far into it, but I am enjoying what I've played so far.
The characters grow on you as you get through the game a little bit.
I feel like a game that we haven't mentioned yet is Cuphead, the delicious last course.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes. And it was short.
It was awesome.
But yeah,
for like 2 hours.
Yep. It makes you want more.
Yeah. But I mean, we're probably not going to get anything for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
Because they are the slowest developers, I think, in the history of developers.
They are hand drawing their game, Johnny. and it's two couples, I think. It's still, for the most part, I think they maybe have got expanded a little bit for logistics and some other departments, but I still think for the most part it's the two brothers and their wives, I think.
I mean, that was a fun little snippet. I wish it was more. I don't know. Some of these, like I said, I think we had a lot of forgettable games this year, and hopefully,
Dream Buffet.
Oh my! Yeah, what happened? What that came out this year?
That came out this year.
I spent $15 on that.
It was what it was. It was a celebration of Kirby. I mean,
Mario Kart doesn't get a celebration, but Kirby gets like 10 games in 1 year.
Yeah.
We have had. I mean, by the end of the year, by the end of the year, we'll have 2 of the booster packs for Mario Kart that have come out this year.
Oh yeah. Maybe, unless they delay it. That would be really weird if they delay that and we have that holiday course.
Yeah, it is a Christmas course, isn't it? Like yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing that kind of like the booster course. We had 2 waves so far.
Mm-hmm.
That came and went. Like nobody's really talking or talking about those anymore.
He stopped saying playing after he looked at me.
I feel like it probably surges for a week or so, and then the waters recede a little bit.
That's why I'm so excited for Tears of the Kingdom, because I feel like even to this day, like people still talk about Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still play it. I see a lot more people starting to play it again, and I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to have very long legs, and even Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I think, is going to have very long legs.
There's a question about Scarlet and Violet I want to grab real quick from the chat. It says, "Are you worried about Nintendo Life wasn't impressed with the new Pokemon? They did a video that had a lot of performance issues." Keep in mind that is not a final build of the game, and so I'm not worried at all. There's another YouTuber that came out and said, there's a lot of people saying that the game has performance issues, but nobody is mentioning the fact that it is not the final build. I can't remember the person's name off the top of my head. I would like to. I think I recently followed them, so I might be able to find them real quick. Let's see. Yeah, they're not coming up, but
I doubt it's gonna run perfectly. It's an open world game on the Switch
with 4-person co-op.
Yeah, it's not gonna run perfect.
But I mean, the amount of effort that it takes to put together a build to show to press is they put a freeze on whatever build they have that's workable at that time. They isolate it, they polish that, and they're not putting a lot of resources into that at that point, because the rest of the main team is finishing building the game so it looks great. So a small snippet of the game is pulled and frozen in a stable build, and then polished up a little bit, and then presented. So it's definitely not a final representation of what the game is going to be capable of.
Plus, it's a Pokemon game. Like, what are we
copy
expecting?
And pasting trees,
Yeah. Well, I did see a video.
Philly
talking
beats
about
you.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw, where he was showing like one area that we either saw in a trailer or that they showed earlier in a demo, and then they showed the most recent build, and it looks completely different. So I don't think these early builds are a good thing to go off of. I mean, we could use Arceus as like a barometer, and that game, had its issues. So
I'm sure Pokemon is going to be great. I'm not ready for the slow build, because that's what Arceus was. Like, Arceus is a great game, but it takes a while to get into it, and it's kind of a drag. Um,
Are you talking about the tutorial? Like nobody remembers the tutorial.
the tutorial is pretty long
It
though.
was like an hour.
It's not,
That's
but like,
a long tutorial though.
You want to talk
There
about
was
a
a
drag?
tutorial?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the first hour is cutscenes. That's a drag.
So is Bayonetta. What I played of Bayonetta was mainly a cutscene as well.
Cheesy, fight back. Do not take this. Push back.
It's a kid's game, bro. It's a kid's game. They need
if
to
it's a kid's
teach
game, it should
kids
not
how to
take an
play.
hour for a tutorial. That is ridiculous.
So what happened with me and Arceus is I got stuck. I got like tired of grinding to get my level up, like to get my research level.
I
That's
feel like
where
you
I
were
was
doing it
like,
wrong.
I have a feeling I was.
I know for sure I wasn't doing the boss battles how I'm supposed to.
I love
Like,
that game
I
from
was-
start to finish.
I was just strong arming the boss battles because aren't you supposed to like throw
It's like Dark
incense or
Souls, where
something
you
at
like
it?
dodge and
Yeah, I wasn't
Dip,
doing that.
dodge, duck.
yeah. That game, like,
Yeah.
I know that was a
Dive and dodge.
complaint back when the game came out about the long tutorial, and it's like I'm an hour past it. Like I don't care anymore. Like I'm never like, man, that tutorial sucked. I hate
But-
tutorials in all games.
It was enough that Cheesy brought it up again. So I want to hear a little bit more on the frustration side there.
For me, it was like this somewhat open world Pokemon game, and they show you the world, and they're like, go out and catch the Pokemon and have fun. And then you're out there, and they're like, okay, it's time to come back, and you're like, no, I just want to stay out here. I think that I should be like the tutorial should have just been you figuring out what you need to do instead of them telling you
It's a
what
kid's
to
game.
do. Like that is kind of what?
It's a kid's game.
Here we
They
go.
have to handhold
there's
you.
a new bet. I can already feel it. There's a new bet coming.
Scarlet and Violet are going to be as bad, if not worse, because they have to
Yeah,
explain.
but I mean, like, it's okay. So we're going through what, the 9th gen now, and we're probably gonna have to do the same tutorial over and over. And if it's a kids game, fine, let the kids have their tutorial and learn how to play Pokemon for the first time. But for those that have been playing for years, there should be a skip button. Like I know how to do this.
But that's just like tutorials in general, because there's always tutorials in games. Like I wish I could have skipped the Mario and Rabbids tutorial. Wish I could have skipped, Nier Automata's tutorial. Like every single game has tutorial,
Except
no
for Breath
matter-
of the Wild.
and Elden Ring. So play those games.
Yeah, but like there's something that's so magical about having you figure out what you need to do. I mean, if we look at like one of the best tutorials, it's got to be Super Mario Bros, where you are just running along, and then if you run into a Goomba, you die. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't touch those. So then you have to figure out a way to get around them. Maybe you hop over them, or maybe you accidentally hop on them and you're like, oh, if I jump, I can kill them. And like it kind of lets you figure it out. And I wish that games were more like that, because I agree tutorials are a drag, but Sakurai had a video pretty recently that was like, if you have to have a tutorial that's like 30 minutes long, that's not going to keep your gamers engaged.
Says the guy that has a tutorial in the loading screen.
It's a video to
Smash
watch.
Bros. If you let it sit for a second, you'll get the tutorial.
If you want it, but it's not like you have to play it.
I'm just saying it's weird that he says that, and there's a tutorial like on the loading screen.
I mean, I guess but it's an option, right? I guess that's what it needs to be, is that it needs to be an option if you want to play a tutorial or not.
So I
And
think
with
Breath of the Wild is like, it's geared towards an older audience, and we could figure it out. But like Pokemon, it's a kid's game. No matter what, it's a kid's game. Even in the original Pokemon games, you had to go through tutorials like catching and battling. So like, you always have to do that.
The way around, I don't remember what game it was, but it was like, oh, it seems like you could have like the seasoned player tutorial. Was it the last Pokemon? Was it Sword and Shield? Maybe that had an option.
No,
that
they
you,
all have the same intro.
I don't know. I felt like there was a game that came out somewhat somewhat recently within the last year or two that was like it could give you the option if you wanted to have a more in-depth tutorial, or you could be like, screw you, I want to go play the game. I mean,
it would be cool that if you wake up in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and they just like give you, the box art legendaries to traverse the land. And like, here you go. That would be cool. They're not going to do it, but that would be cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm just not ready for no music in the background and so many text box that we have to read and mash.
You don't have
A
to read
through.
them. Just mash A.
Okay. All right. But then what's the
take
point
the
of the tutorial?
Take the Josh approach.
That's how you figure it out yourself. You just mash through the text. You don't read it. There you go.
And then you end up
fighting.
Then you end up fighting a wall for 3 days, and you don't know how to beat the wall in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I feel attacked.
Yep, you should.
I feel attacked right now.
No, I hope that I really do enjoy Scarlet and Violet. I think everybody is just wanting something new with Pokemon, and so far all they've said is open world, but they haven't really like shown how open world it is or like what that even means.
I mean, all the previews have said that it feels good. Like the open world feels good.
Okay.
Any other top games worth noting before we wrap this up? Any indie titles that you guys want to mention? We've been playing
Nobody Saves the World.
Is that one good?
Yeah, Nobody Saves the World is really good. It's made by Drinkbox Studios. And the way you like choose the different type of like character you are to solve puzzles, and it's just a unique idea. And it was on Game Pass. I think, I don't know if it's still on Game Pass, but it's on Game Pass. It came to the Switch, just kind of like Tunic, which I haven't played that yet either.
Yeah, I really want to play that.
I think Cult of the Lamb, a lot of people liked as well.
They did. Yep. Absolutely. That's been pretty popular. We've been playing Dire Vengeance this week. The devs are going to be on the show. Well, I don't know if you guys had a chance to play it yet, but I've jumped in. If you're a fan of Castlevania, Mega Man, even kind of Ghosts and Goblins vibes, like this is a game to check out. Like tight controls, it needs to be because there's a lot of enemies. Not my favorite art style, but talking with some other people in the community, like Servant, he's like, "Oh, I love the way this game looks," So it's just I love pixel art, especially on that style game, and it's not, but it doesn't look bad. It's just not my preferred art style, is all I'm saying. So
it looks like a
another
little
one
bit
that
later Castlevania style, doesn't it?
a little bit, yes. And don't
Another one
forget
that I
Kirby's
played
Dream
was-
Buffet. Sorry. I'm sorry. Please forget.
They could have made it so cool if it was more than 4 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I've been playing Shovel Knight Dig. Yeah,
Dig
Shovel Knight
and
Dig.
Pocket Dungeon both came out this year.
Did they
didn't
both come out this year?
I
Pocket
think.
Dungeon I played a lot, and that was super fun. And Dig is fun as well. It's a roguelike. I love me some roguelikes. And if you like Shovel Knight in 16-bit era, like SNES, check out Shovel Knight Dig. And Evil Chris kept asking about Elden Ring. And yes, I've played Elden Ring. It is my favorite game this year. I have beaten every single boss in that game, including Melania. So I am good at video games.
Did Eastward come out this year? I played a little bit of that one. I don't know if that one came out this year or end of last year.
Eastward.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm just going through my Switch right now, just kind of looking at stuff. But
Not a Nintendo game, but I played Stray, and that's a really fun platformer, very creative. Some parts of it were kind of difficult, like controls could have been a little tighter. But overall, story and the look of it was really great.
And we got God of War coming out next week, which I'm super excited for. That's not Nintendo, but like,
yeah, I'm
getting 9s and 10s. So.
I'm feeling a little sick.
We have our hammer. We're gonna have our hammer next week.
Yeah, I got the Hammer edition. The not as expensive by like $20-$30 or whatever. Hammer
I got
edition.
the middle one, whatever it's called.
Whatever. That thing was impossible to pre-order.
I got the email. You're about to get charged $200.
Yeah, I did as well.
So what do you guys think is getting the Nintendo nom for Game of the Year? Because they always have one nomination for Nintendo.
Bayonetta, maybe?
I mean, Sparks of Hope. It's not going to be a Nintendo published game, but like, it's an exclusive to Nintendo. I think that has a chance. There's one run, Johnny. Is that one run?
Oh no, you spoiled it. I'm behind. And I'm like right next to Philly. How did you see it first?
My internet's better, I guess. I don't know. I'm streaming it as well.
Johnny, how far are you in Sparks of Hope?
In the second world, I'm like most the way through. I think I'm halfway through it.
Okay.
I need to get back into it. The weird thing, I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I don't play games during the week. Like I don't really feel the motivation to play games during the week. Like weekends is where I really just hunker down. I don't know why, except for Marvel Snap. I've been playing that like
that's game
whenever
of the
I can
year
get a chance.
there.
So I mean that's a decent transition because it's on mobile and it's on Steam.
Oh, it's on Steam.
It's on Steam. I have it downloaded. It's a free to play game on Steam. You can link your accounts. It has cross progression.
Bring it to Switch.
So I think, I mean, that is my next question. Like, I think it would work okay as it's formatted vertically. So they haven't done a lot to the UI and how it's presented on Steam.
Like? Have you played it? Oh, they haven't done much. They haven't.
No, it's sharper. You can. I don't know that frames per second really matters, but you have a 30 FPS or a 60 FPS. I think you even have that option on your phone. Not that a card flying out of your deck onto a playfield needs that much animation.
Hey, it looks cool. All right,
it does look cool.
Buy all those variants.
But like, I think they talked about it making over like $2 million or something like that, like last week.
And it came out October 18th.
It's been in pre-release for a while, but yeah, but it's a card game that just
$12 into it already.
Works, and it's not pay to win. Anything that you're buying, it's taken like the Fortnite model where it's just a skin for a different card that you have. The more you play, the more cards you unlock because you always get some progression to the cards that you're playing that you can then upgrade them, and then even after you upgrade them, you unlock a more fancy version of a card that you've upgraded all the way, and then you get more card. I was meaning to talk to you guys. I think how you progress through the unlock ladder, I think is probably a set card that you get. I would think.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody gets the same. I know it says mystery card, but I think everybody gets the same cards.
Yeah, and so I mean, so as you progress deeper in the game, the decks can change a little bit. They have synergies with each other, and I definitely think it needs to be something that I don't even know who the developer is, but
it's the same developers as Hearthstone.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have Yu-Gi-Oh on the Switch, Master Rule. We don't have Pokemon TCG, which I don't know why. But this seems like the least intensive card game that's out there. There's not much animation. There's, it's asynchronous, so there's not really, the connection issues might not be that big of a deal. I think it would be a perfect game to put on Switch.
Oh, for sure. And if you disconnect, you have a chance to reconnect.
Video, so
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that idea.
But no, it's been super fun. If anybody's out there listening, it's a free to play Marvel themed card game.
Super fast.
I'm like really good at it. I'm super smart. I haven't lost.
I have the DMs in Discord today to prove otherwise.
Yeah.
This game is dumb. I hate it. I lose to myself.
I do lose to myself. I do lose to myself.
I do. I mean, like with how much I've been playing Marvel Snap, it won't bring in the same audience. But if they were to bring Table Turf onto the Nintendo Switch Online app, I think that would make a huge difference for that community that is into that game or into that mode.
For sure. I could see
When
that.
is that? Is that getting online? Like, when is that going to happen?
So they said it was going to be online, and they do have online ghosts. So I really hope that's not what they meant by online. I really hope they mean like, no, you can play against your friends, but I don't know now. Yeah.
There's even a channel in Josh's Discord for Marvel Snap now.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
The one thing that kind of sucks about it is you can't play against your friends. And
Not yet. I think that's they're gonna get more features. I think Josh just got tired of all of us chatting in like main chat.
Oh, I didn't mind. It just seemed like there was enough hype, that enough people playing, that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, let's just do it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see if they do anything for Wakanda Forever, because I think the season stops.
it ends
on the 8th.
This week.
Yeah. So if they do like some kind of special event for Wakanda, maybe you go to go see the movie and then you get like a free card. That would be really cool.
So they've had a ton of different like Marvel games, like these free to play weird games on mobile, and Marvel United or Marvel Unlimited. I don't know if you know what that is.
Mhm.
It's like it's their subscription service for all the comics, like their virtual comics.
Yeah.
And they always used to give deals for like the games that you're playing. So I wonder if they're gonna kind of link them up that way too. So the Marvel Snap podcast is starting.
I was waiting. When's the
I bet it gets a lot of hits, Josh. I bet it gets a lot of hits. It's a mobile game.
I bet
It's
it
Marvel.
does. Yeah.
It's Marvel. It's a mobile game.
No question there. So, all right. Well, hey, guys, this has been our top games of 2022. Of course, if you want to get the show ad-free or pick up the NPC Wired, where we kind of just talk about whatever, make sure to head on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Powercast. Thank you guys so much for being here with us live. Thank you for listening after the fact. We love you guys, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.